My name is the Warship and I am a Streamaholic.
My name is Natty, and I am trying to be a streamaholic.
And that should roll the intro, but it didn't. Bollocks! Well, you know, it's my first time. It's my first time. That didn't work. Oh well. Quick shipping thing.
That's okay. We can pretend to do one.
Oh
How's it
no!
going? I need to drift in from the left.
Yeah, we gotta drift in from different sections here. Oh, I figured out. I see what's wrong. God dang it! It's up here. Wait. And I'm a streamer. Oh no! It's still wrong. Bollocks. Ah, it's
Do you
so
like
bad.
my pretty
I did.
beard, everybody?
Oh, no. Okay. All right. We're here. Hello, everybody. It's definitely not scuffed at all. It's not broken to begin with. The music's very loud, and now it's not because so much is happening that's incorrect. But welcome in. This is why I'm not in charge of the goddamn thing. Also, we had about 2 minutes to get ready for it. But hello, friend. Welcome in.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I appreciate being here. How is everybody going this lovely Friday night, other than a little bit messy?
Oh, my goodness. I hope everyone is doing well. I am doing fantastic. I've had a very, very long day of trying to get a lot of different things sorted out. And it turns out, you know, this thing, we only had a few minutes to actually get sorted out. And, you know, it's fine. Like, it's absolutely, this is fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. This is fine. And there's no problems
fine.
whatsoever. It's fine.
It's
But we're here now and we've got a bit to talk about. Like, we've been discussing what's next when it comes to talking about Streamaholics content because you know we've had a lot of people come in with a lot of different ideas and you know, like Lukey and I, we obviously started the thing off and we went through a fair few episodes and he's currently on break and Jim couldn't be here today, so you're here and it's not going to be like a cover over of any kind of previous information or anything like that, but we'll probably be going over some stuff that maybe you may not have heard before explicitly when it comes to it, but at the same time, it will be new stuff for the chat as well. So,
Oh, I like Manfonso's tip. He wants to call me an MMA-aholic.
oh,
Look, you know, I'm not that much of a big fan of MMA anymore because,
Something
you know, they don't really care about the health of their athletes in the peak organizations.
oh
I can
yeah.
always say that about any sport that's entertaining as well.
I mean, yeah, as a professional wrestler who has a broken neck and couldn't wrestle anymore, I can definitely confirm that, you know, it's a struggle to see people really caring about you, especially as you get into the bigger ends of the organizations. But yeah, I don't know. I used to be kind of big into the MMA side of things as well, but it was always, it's so fake compared to wrestling, you know. I just can't watch it because it's not real, you know. Like, you know, at least wrestling is real, you know. Now, honestly, my perspective on like UFC and MMA and all that kind of stuff has always been, I would rather pay $50 for a pay-per-view that I know for a fact is going to go for 3 hours from start to finish. And this is when the match is going to end, and this is how long the show is going to go, then pay $50, and then boom, lights out, finished, end of the thing. And then we have like two old fat guys talking for the next 20 minutes. Like,
You know, I'm a fan of both MMA and pro wrestling, and what I like about wrestling is at least it's designed to be entertaining.
yeah,
Like from the get-go, you know that they've tried to make it entertaining. Whether
absolutely, yeah.
MMA is just about getting your money out of your pockets.
Oh, well, that's the thing is I remember one of the very first UFCs, I think it might be UFC 3 or UFC 2. It was really early. It was Dan Severn versus Ken Shamrock, and they go to a standstill for 55 minutes. And the whole time it's just put a leg up, put a leg down, buh. I think there are 2 takedowns in the whole fight, and the rest of us they're dancing around in a circle. And they're both wrestlers, which means it should have done better. But
Yeah, no, the early days of MMA was hilarious when it was literally, this guy's a boxer, and this guy does jujitsu. Who will win?
There was one guy. He was like a bald guy, a black guy, and he used to roll people up and grab their leg and then just repeatedly elbow them like directly into the for the whole until they gave up. It was just like bang, bang, right in the dick, bang, bang, until they tapped out. And that was like obviously before all of the structure had been brought into it. But yeah, I mean, I'm giving up after the first hit. I do not care. Like that's not for me.
Yeah, no, old school MMA was the Wild Wild West.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
glad that doesn't
absolutely.
quite exist so much anymore.
I mean, when it first came out, people were talking about the concept of like ninjutsu being involved as well, like weapons. And like I remember there was conversations about having sword fighting and the whole deal, and it was going to become like a murder sport, like legitimately when it first started. Like, you know, people could realistically die in the ring, even just with the fights, because the fights were not structured for rules back then. It was just like whoever lives, like, and that's messed up.
Yeah, returning to the Colosseum. I don't think we're quite there yet as a
Not
society.
quite. No.
We're crumbling a little bit, but we're not quite there.
Now, obviously, this is unfortunately not MMA-aholics. This is Streamaholics. So, see, that was a nice little segue as we can roll away from the fighting side of things a little bit, even though I could talk about it for ages and ages.
Yeah.
We've got some good topics today. I think we can cover over some fun stuff. And apparently, if I move my Discord, it freezes you. So I'm going to have to try to do a sneaky one there. Okay, here we go. I got it working again. So we did have a slight discussion. Right. I think we're closer to Squid Games at the moment. Oh my God. Have you seen that crab game being played at the moment? I've been playing it almost every night lately on stream. It is like a violent Fall Guys. Like, it's Fall Guys except where you kill each other. So it's based off a Squid Game. Like, there's red light, green light, and all that kind of stuff in there as well. But the people, they explode when they die, like guts and blood everywhere. So it's like stupid, but it kind of has all of the sort of rules from the show. So
gotcha. So it's really capitalized on the
on the
game.
I mean, it's smart. Like, the very first thing, like, honestly, I saw it, I'm like, man, I wish I'd have thought of that, because that's stupid smart. Like, that even though it's a freeware game, that will have so many, like, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of downloads now, because it's just so popular. So
I think I saw a Disguised Toast playing it the other day with some friends, and I was like, oh yeah, just watching, and then like somebody died, and it was this like giant splatter of blood, and I was just like, whoa.
It's every character kind of has the Rick and Morty, like, soulless, like, Muppet eyes, and their mouths like. Yeah. But it's got proximity chat, so when they talk, like, if you talk in proximity chat, the characters' faces move as well. So it can, it can lead to some really like stupid stuff too. It's like, you know, people whispering in the corner, like they've been saying to me, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get Shippy. Hey, come over here. Hey, come on, we're gonna kill Shippy." And I just like sneak up to them. I'm like, "Hey, excuse me," and they're like, "Oh," and then they just run away. Like.
Oh, so do you think it's going to like overtake like Among Us? I don't quite see the magic there, but I mean, it looks interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we used to play Among Us very briefly on the channel, but Among Us has a real troll problem, as does Jackbox, like, as we know. The game that I like to play on stream in that vein is Goose Goose Duck. That's a free version of Among Us, which a bunch of different rules. It has like. What we call the Halloween or trick or treat mode, which is I forget what they call it in Goose Goose Duck, but essentially you know who the killer is straight away, and you have to survive, and you have to do your jobs before they kill you. So everyone knows there's no deception, there's no, you know, oh, I might be the killer, who knows? It's just straight up like murder. So that one's intrinsically built into the game, which is really cool. Plus, there's a whole bunch of collectibles. There are a bunch of different game modes. There are also each goose has a different perks potentially. Each duck, sorry. So you can have like there's a sheriff goose. So if you're getting chased by a bad guy or by the duck potentially, I think I'm saying it the wrong way around. I think I am. If you're getting chased by the imposter, you can elect to fire your gun once. If it's not the imposter though, and just someone trolling you, you both die.
That's high stakes.
Yeah. So there are a bunch of different rules like that. So there's like that one. There's one that's like a a pigeon a perk, which you have to eat all the bodies as they're left around, and if you eat X amount of bodies, you automatically win the game. So yeah, like there's a whole bunch of different rules that make it completely way more fun, in my opinion, than Among Us. But that's just because Among Us got oversaturated the market really quickly. As soon as you had like Corpse and Jacksepticeye and all those guys playing it, and like Sykuno here on Twitch, and it just became like, you have Corpse doing his sexy voice all the time. Of course you're tuning in.
Yeah, of course. I mean, who doesn't love a Corpse imposter?
Oh, yes.
Talking about how he's going to kill you in that deep, sexy voice. Yeah. Please come and kill me.
Yes, it's okay, Corpse. I'd like you to choke me like you hate me. A bit of that. Go on, do it. Go on. Do it, Corpse. It's fine. But yeah, no...
That almost leads into another discussion we were going to have today.
Oh, yeah,
your wonderful voice.
Yes.
And how you're going to be using it as part of your, branding to move forward.
Yeah, so we're doing a bit of an expansion. We've spoke a bit about it on stream. I've spoken about it with my chat a fair bit as well, but I haven't put anything officially out into the ether as of yet. But for those who don't know...
Wait, is this an exclusive?
A little bit, I suppose.
A little bit.
That being said, my community pretty much all know, and if they don't know, they haven't been paying attention.
Well,
they've
maybe
been
we
lurking.
need to test people. What do you guys think he's talking about?
We have a bunch of stuff that we still haven't even announced yet, which I'm not going to go through, do that final announcement. But what we have is, essentially, me and a few people have been expanding my setup here. So we're actually creating a office for content creation, straight up, a specific office designed for content creation. There's going to be like three different areas of the office that all provide a different thing. Now, I won't mention one of them, but one of them will be my office rebranded, because right now I'm in front of a green screen. This is a green screen of my old setup. So this is like when I first started streaming, I took a minute video and looped it. And that's actually what's behind me now. My actual setup is not here though, because we're trying to get it all sorted for the new place. But so part of that place will be for my my current setup. And then I feel ripped off, right? I'm sorry, all right? I'm really... Hey, I can be Jacksepticeye. That's easy enough. I can do a bunch of the old top of the morning to you laddies. A bunch of that pretty easily. But no, we have we've been working on this setup for a significant amount of time. So essentially, when it's all ready to go, yeah, it is. I'm very sorry. Very sorry. Once it's all ready to go, though, one of the other things we'll be working on is some music creation. It's not going to be like original song stuff, but what we'll be working with is along the same vein as Jonathan Young, Caleb Hiles, those guys who do the cover singing on the internet. We've got a few people musically involved who are going to be providing the guitar stuff and the drums and the keyboards and the mixing and all that kind of stuff. I'll be providing vocals as well as maybe guitar in some parts as well. And because I'm okay guitarist, so I just can't do them both at the same time. I'm garbage at it. So
oh, come on now. It's not like you don't have enough talents already.
I mean, yeah, I've got my guitar right there. I could probably just grab it. But yeah, no, Nate Wants to Battle is another huge inspiration for me as well. I really like Nate's music too. I especially like what Nate's done with Give Heart as well. He's been transitioning away from his stuff. And funny story, Nate Wants to Battle did the English music for Dragon Ball Super. He was approached to do the actual song. So he's just an internet guy, and he does the actual music for Dragon Ball Super. Like I
did not know that he did that.
Yeah, he does. It's so
That's
cool.
Crazy.
Like that's a massive step, because he's a big anime guy too. Like he's done anime covers for ages. So in the same vein as that, we're actually aiming to do something very similar. And I'm really excited for it, because this kind of does broach into the next sort of area of conversation, although we're not quite there yet. But it broaches into the idea of branding and capitalizing on other sources to bring new people in. Because even if, say, every single video gets demonetized. Like every single video gets copy struck and ad revenues taken away. If there are 300,000 views on a video as a highball, if there's 50,000 views on a video, chances are at least a couple of them are going to subscribe for the next one. And then eventually, slowly but surely, you're building up that subscriber tier list, and then you're releasing other stuff that isn't going to be demonetized. And then slowly but surely, you start to build a brand. So that's the reason behind it, because it's not just about, I'm not doing it just for the sake of, I am doing it just for the sake of doing it as well, but there's more to it than that. Like it's really about the idea of creating a all-purpose streaming environment or content creation environment.
I feel like part of the YouTube game is working out the algorithm, working out what's going to draw eyeballs to your channel, even as you said, even if it's going to get those videos, copy strike, or in your case, maybe you create some kind of multiple people claiming copyrights on the same video, so then nothing happens.
They
you're
can
getting
have
the
it.
eyeballs there for your other content.
Yeah, exactly right.
You need.
If you like what I do, we could do some live stuff. Follow me on Twitch. My link's here. Like it's the same when I'm on Twitch and I'm like, guys, did you know that every time you subscribe to YouTube, I get a free subscription? Isn't that cool? Like, that's what that's for. It creates an environment where you create the snake biting its own tail. And the more you get in there, the more it starts to rotate around, and eventually it's quite a big snake. Hopefully,
that's the plan.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, we'll have at least tried, and I'll have a bunch of music on the internet that I like to listen to. So.
This is true. What I really like about plans like this as well is that it's collaboration as well. So you're looking at all building your brands together and working toward a common goal, and that always seems to multiply your effort rather than just trying to go solo and then not getting your name out there as much.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And collaborative efforts are really, really good. We've got a bunch of content creators here in Perth that we will be working alongside. For some of this stuff. I know there are even some people in Goa who want to do some of the music stuff that we've discussed.
Ooh.
So
nobody's spoken to me about this. Don't you know I'm a fabulous backup singer? All right, and I can hit a tambourine really well.
Mate, tambourine instruments. Tambourine is a critical instrument to every song.
It is. All the clicks. Always gonna have the.
Oh yeah, and I'm a big boy band guy too, so you really need those clicks. You really they do them all the time. So, but yeah, honestly, when it comes to expansion and branding, it's honestly probably the next step for me, because you get to a point where you've hit like maybe 60 to 100 viewership every stream, which is sort of the pit that I'm in at the moment. And while it's amazing and incredible and you love to have all the people there all the time, you do stagnate if you do nothing else. Like if you just do the same things, like, we just released a massive thing of content over on my channel as far as a new activity to do, which is another thing we're going to be speaking about. And that did help, but at the same time, it's me in front of a camera doing that thing all the time. It doesn't provide much in the way of growth unless you bring more eyes to it. So the concept of then creating alternate means, like even being and doing the stuff here with Goa, which I absolutely love doing. I love being part of the team. Even that helps. Having you. Yeah. Even that helps, because it creates a new dynamic, something else for people to visit, even if it's only 10 people, 20 people, whatever it is, who are coming to watch the stream at any given moment. There might be a new face, and that might help them, or it might help you, or whatever the case may be, like it may help Goa, or it may help me. But it's all about that constantly evolving what you're doing and trying new things, because if you don't, you stagnate. And that is like perfect example of that is all the conversations we have about playing the same game every night. Like your CODs or your Fortnites and things like that. If you do the same thing all the time, sooner or later people won't be there. That's why for me variety streaming has always been the number one.
Yeah, I think you really do have to be like the absolute elite or pro at a game to be able to get away with just doing the same thing
And probably know
all the
someone
time.
as well, honestly. Like probably have a group of people that you know, and have an in, like have a situation where you've been at that top level for a long time, and then someone famous is like, oh yeah, I'll get him out, I'll get you there, we'll do the thing, like we'll get amongst you, and then once that happens, then you've got, once it's a CSGO as an example, it's in the chat right now. Once you play a CSGO game with like Swagger Souls, and then you get into constant videos with Swagger, like then you're done. Then all of a sudden you've got thousands of people watching you, as opposed to whatever you currently have, and that just comes from being either really good at a game or funny or whatever it is, and catching the right break at the right time.
I do remember the advice back in the day, like when I was first looking at seriously streaming, was about you don't want to do a diversity of stuff, because if you're doing different content, it won't be predictable. And, it's kind of tied into that consistency message, I think, of provide a similar thing for your audience so they know you're reliable, they know you're there, they know what you're going to be doing. But I think the whole psyche of the world's changed, in the last 5 years. Everybody wants something new, something interesting, something novel to jump into. And it kind of helps if it can lean into your natural inquisitiveness as well.
Absolutely. Like I would say that, yes, you're right in the sense that if you have top tier players who are playing your CSGO, your Dota, your League of Legends, whatever it is, obviously once you hit pro levels of those games, you'll always have a big audience. That's just, that goes without saying. But the percentage of people who actually hit that level is very low. And, honestly, when it comes down to it, what you need to be able to do is not become the game, because if the game ever falls down, if the game ever becomes toxic and crap and I'm not playing that game ever again, let's make a YouTube video about it, if you ever get to that point, then what do you have? People are only there for your CSGO content. People are only there for your League of Legends content. You need to diversify to the point that people are there for you, and you're the reason that people are there, not because of the games you play, not because of what you do in them. It's great to be like, top tier healer in one of these games, but then what happens if you're DPS all of a sudden you lose half the audience, Like there are so many different factors there straight off the bat. So I think diversifying content, for me at least, makes the most sense, because that way, even if every game that you like dies, Destiny for me is a perfect example. I love Destiny, but I would never stream it because it's just garbage. Like
not entertaining to watch, maybe is what you want to say.
Yeah, no, exactly right. I love the game. Don't get me wrong, I love the game, but for that example, we've done everything a million times. We've done everything in that, and it's garbage to watch. And you can't stream it because unless you're a top tier guy who has a big following. If you're My Name Is Bife or more console or unknown player, one of those guys who has a big YouTube following as well, it just doesn't work that way. So. For me, I think diversifying is definitely the way to go, and that doesn't just extend to on Twitch. When I say diversification, it's like being on YouTube, being on TikTok, being in shorts. Like I posted a couple of shorts, and so far they've got my biggest numbers ever that I've done pretty much on YouTube. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, like they're way more. Aside from one wrestling match that has like 25,000 views on it, they're the most. And they're just like shorts from my stream, and that's all it is. So and then that is automatically copy pasted to TikTok because they're the same format, and then all of a sudden you've got two different sets of avenue of advertising, and then until Twitter took it away, you had three, because they had that fleet for a very short amount of time.
That was such a short period of time. I do wonder why they decided to nuke it so quickly. I feel like it was around for like 2 months and then it was gone.
Yeah, it really didn't seem like it survived at all. And that's unfortunate too, because I think they kind of wanted to dip their toes into the space, but I'm pretty sure they're already owned by Facebook anyway, aren't they? I think, because I think all three of those, like the main ones, are all under the same umbrella.
I'm gonna have to Google it now. Who owns Twitter? Hey,
I thought it was all owned by the same place now. Like. They seem to have all the same integrations, so maybe it's just Instagram and Facebook who are together. I'm not sure.
Instagram and Facebook are definitely under Meta.
Under Meta now, yes.
Now, yes, rebranded. Jack Dorsey, whoever he is.
Okay,
Doesn't look like a company.
No. Yeah, okay, interesting.
There
But
you go.
regardless, like maybe they thought they'd compete and it didn't work out the way they thought it would.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I just wonder as well how much time and resources it takes to stand up something like that.
oh
Obviously,
yeah.
it's paying off whatever the equation was.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like unless it was making serious money, I don't see how it would really help. But then again, we don't know how it works, inner workings of like branding when it comes to advertising and what they get for every time an ad plays on one of those things. And yeah, who knows?
Well, that's interesting actually, because I never saw an ad on a fleet.
Yeah, actually, now that I say that, you are right. I don't think I've seen it either. Um, but yeah, I honestly I don't have the answer to that at all. All I know
No,
is that it's gone.
it is gone.
Yeah,
Rip
yeah,
fleets. I don't know if you know, I'm a nurse
yeah,
in my real life.
yep,
There is a type of enema
yeah. Okay,
called a fleet enema.
yeah, yeah.
I think maybe the branding was a little bit off there, calling it a fleet.
As someone who's had to have surgery for my injuries, I'm fairly aware of them. I've experienced them before, so yeah, I don't like the idea of thinking about that now. And you're right, it probably should be gone.
Mm.
But yeah. So what I was saying before is a good tie-in, but we tied in way too early as far as other ways to grow your streams. And recently, one of the things I'm noticing a lot on the platform is, right now looking at my followed channels list, number one is Grand Theft Auto 5, and I know based on who's playing that they're playing on RP, like they're playing on Hypixel or something along those lines. And there seems to have been a really, really significant jump up recently in the amount of RP things that are existing. I know for ourselves, we have a thing called the Anchor SMP, which is the new Minecraft SMP server that we've launched over on my channel. It's available to subscribers because we don't want it to be trolled, so we kind of have to put it behind a wall. But that is in itself, it started off as we had the first season, which was really cool. Everyone had a lot of fun with it. And then we did a Extinction Event, kind of like Fortnite did the first time they changed seasons, where we started to populate meteors falling to the sky. And they were frozen, obviously, because it's Minecraft. They can't move. And then like they'd come back the next week and it'd be a little bit closer. And then a couple of days later, it was a little bit closer again. And there was fire everywhere. And then we shut the server down and everything was gone. And then I had a video that I made for YouTube, which was really good. And every time I play it, every time I ask about it, everyone's like, I don't want to cry. Don't play the thing again. I'll just go get the tissues. But when it came back, we had introduced a whole bunch of mods, a whole bunch of like new stuff that makes it feel like an adult game. It doesn't feel like a kid's game anymore. There are dungeons. There's a thing called the Create mod, which allows everything to move. You can make windmills that move and pulley systems that doors open and close. And, it's a much more scientific and really, really in detailed game. And that's been awesome. That's been really, really cool. We've had a lot of response to that. We've just installed a thing called Mumble Link, which allows for proximity chat. So the closer you are to someone, you can hear them. And if you're too far away, you can't hear them at all. And that's really, really cool because that allows us now to have an RP server. So we can kind of, walk up to each other and be like, oh, hey, how's it going? Do you have any wool or whatever? And you can then diversify content because all of a sudden you can have a bit of fun with it. And they make great YouTube videos. It makes great Twitch content.
I completely agree. Like, I think, I wonder if the big bounce up with numbers around that has been around kind of the COVID kind of period where people have had more time at home.
Yeah.
And it kind of allows people to engage their creative side a little bit more as well. So you can get into the narrative storytelling and have an Extinction Event and build that in and make people cry when they watch the video. Like not many games really bring that. And it's nice that there are a few titles now, Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft. I'm not sure if you're aware of any other
there's like
RP
Red Dead as well, I think. Like Red Dead Online do one as well. Yeah. Cowboy RP. Yeah.
Yes. Which is really good because those environments were created for, open world gaming. And so you can make them your own.
Yeah. It's It's really good when you see like GTA, for example. Like that is such a weird thing because Minecraft is almost otherworldly. So it's not so much like a realistic environment. Sure, you can build cities but you're in the field most of the time, or you're underground digging or whatever it is. But when you walk into something like GTA, all of a sudden you're in the middle of not New York City or not Los Angeles. I'm not sure where the latest one's based roughly in, but I think it's based off of New York. It could be. I don't know. But
no, I'm not sure. Sorry.
Regardless, you're in the middle of a real city essentially with fake branding all over it, and then there are paramedics who that's their job. They're a paramedic. They drive an ambulance around and pick up downed players. And, there are other people who they are bankers. And, it's not everyone is getting a ski mask on and going and robbing a bank. People work at the bank as well. And it's crazy to think that, that has become so big. And honestly, I think you're right. One of the reasons is that everyone wishes they were in Hollywood. Everyone wishes they were an actor and all that kind of stuff. So for a little bit of time there, you can pretend, if you're not a streamer, because a lot of people who do those aren't even involved in streaming. If you're not a streamer, you can still kind of have the situation where you're like, oh, I'm going to play as this character for this time. It's like D&D, except you can actually act out everything. So, and while you can't play D&D with your mates right now in a lot of the world still, you can play it online. So that's the appeal.
Escapism. I think we're all kind of chasing that a little bit at the moment. The real world isn't kind of the wonderful place we're all hoping it should be.
I mean, unless you're in Perth, it's not so bad here, but everywhere else is a bit rough.
Don't get me started. I would love to be in Perth.
We had we had 2 weeks of lockdown, pretty much the whole time. There was the first bit where everyone was locked down for 3 months, where like the whole country was locked down. But the second we weren't locked down anymore, we had 2 separate outbreaks, and they were both about 10 days each, roughly. So for the rest of the time, I haven't seen a mask in months. I don't even know where my masks are, and I've got some cool shirts ones, so they're really nice looking. But
So you're prepared just in case.
Oh, I wanted to look cool as well, but you know what? I didn't even think I was going to use it even when I bought them. I just wanted to buy them so that I could say, "Hey, here's my mask from when COVID happened." Like,
something to share with the grandkids.
Yeah. I spent 2 years inside, and all I got was this lousy COVID mask. Like that was the whole point of me getting it, I think.
Hey, and this Minecraft server that we explored. Here's the video.
Yeah. But no, as far as that goes, you're right. It is escapism. It is playing with friends. And that honestly is a lot of the reason why I think there's been such a boon on Twitch as of the last few months. It's starting to die down a little bit. I'm definitely feeling it. I know there are some other people who are feeling it as well, where I think people are going back to work maybe. Plus, we spoke about it over the last few weeks as far as the hate raids go and Twitch's policies go and everything that we've spoke about, those 3 strikes that we've spoke about recently. I think it's all affecting it. Like I think all of that is causing issues because my numbers have dropped down maybe 30%-ish, I would say.
Oh, wow.
So I'm sitting usually anywhere from sort of 90-ish viewers down to maybe 70 if I'm best. But average that's the average. But as far as a peak viewers, I'm still hitting about 90 to 100, but I was hitting 140, 150 for a while there for peak viewers, easy.
Do you think that might be a little bit of the impact from YouTube having their big push for supporting gaming more?
Yeah.
Like they've certainly been on the front foot, I think, with advertising themselves as the better platform to be at. And I know a lot of other streamers based in Adelaide are just a bit fed up with Twitch and are moving over. Do you have any thoughts about platform and I guess multi-streaming, which I know a lot of people are doing as well?
If I could afford, because this is my livelihood, this literally pays to feed my family. So if I don't do well, like if I have a bad month, like this month has been, if I have a bad month, we struggle. So if I could afford to go to YouTube right now and take all the current followers I have over there, I would, because if I took the current followership over there and the view time, I would easily meet the requirements that YouTube asks for monetization. As it stands right now, I'm still not there. I still need more followers. I still need more viewership. But if I could do that, I would take it and I would leave because I am fed up with it as well. Absolutely fed up with it. We don't get paid anywhere near as much as we should based on how much we do. It is geared towards content creators who blatantly break the rules. Like, you get so many more chances if you're a bigger streamer. Like,
yeah, if you're making more money for the platform, the rules don't apply.
They don't apply. And it's become really, really obvious over the past 6 or so months. And I've only been streaming for, maybe 15, 16 months. So for me, it's like seeing how it's evolved even in that short time. It's just been garbage. And
sorry, Gav's just saying, throw the rule book at him.
Oh yeah. They don't have to. They don't even need to look at the rule book. Like they
they're sending Bezos to the moon, man.
Yeah.
They don't need to worry about the book.
And that's what I'm saying too. Like I know, like if you really cared about making this a good platform, he'd be taking care of the people first, the people who are giving him the money. There's no reason why we should have a revenue share of like 20% or whatever it is, because it's very low. For a $9 or sorry, an $8 subscription, we're getting maybe $2.20, I think, out of that when you convert to Australian dollars. And then it's different if you're in different parts of the world as well. Which is stupid. So, but then straight off the bat, no money. Like,
nobody could explain that to me. I saw that information out, like, oh, if you're from this country, you're subbing to this channel, it's worth more or less, and I that all went right over my head. So I don't know if you got into all of that and understood what was going on and why they were doing it.
Yeah, because there are certain parts of the world that get different. They get taxed differently, and certain parts of the world where their value of their money is different, like significantly different to our money here. So they pay less, but we get more. It is very confusing. It is very, very confusing. But there is definitely an advantage to getting people from other parts of the world. Those parts of the world, Euro dollars, I think, is one good example of it. But as it stands, it's still a very small amount. If I could get a way to keep my emotes for my people, like, I know BTTV exists, but no one wants to use that. It's not as it's not as easy to use unless you know the button codes for the subscribers and all that kind of stuff. Like, unless it's all there and easy to see for you, you're not using BTTV emotes anyway. But if I could figure out a way to have the BTTV emotes as the main emotes that show up when you click the emote button on the channel, I would take my affiliate back. The only reason I have it at the moment is because I want to be able to give something back to the people who support me. But what I would do is I would open up a Patreon, or, because I have one. I've got a Patreon waiting there to go. I also have this new thing called Throne, which has just come out recently, which is like a private gifting situation. So you don't need to have a PO box. I've got one, but you don't need one. Essentially what it is that you put a bunch of gifts up from wherever you want to sell them from or buy them from, and then people can go and anonymously buy things and send them over to you. There's no handoff of address or name or anything like that at all.
Amazing.
And it's really, really cool. I just got invited to the beta recently. But it's a really, really cool way to incentivize, like if you want to give back to the streamer, it's really cool. But outside of that, Patreon is better for the money share. I think it's like 70 or 90% you get rather than 20%, 30% that you get here. So if I had a way to do it, and you can set tiers as well. I could say, if you want to be like just a basic supporter, here's $6 as opposed to $7, or here's $7 as opposed to $8 a month. But if you want to be like these ones, like a real cool supporter, then you can pay $10 or whatever.
If you want the behind the scenes of you screaming into microphones, that's $20.
Yeah, and you can provide extra content too as well, because I'm a designer. I could do like pictures and stuff like that. For whatever it is, you can create incentives, and it's very, very easy to do. But yeah, for me, because one major thing you can't do as an affiliate is restream. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to stream content within a 24-hour period. So I can't play for example, on the Anchor SMP on Twitch on Friday and then play it on Saturday within that 24 hours. It would have to be after the time I logged in to be allowed to play it again. Even though it's a different day and new content, it's the same game in the same format.
Oh, wait. So I just thought the restream thing was you couldn't multi-stream, like you couldn't stream to multiple places at the same time, but you can't play the same type of game.
It's a
within
24
hours.
It's a 24-hour thing. It's a 24-hour time period, and yeah, places like Critical Role, they have rules, exceptions. It's in their partner contract. They're allowed to do it.
Yes.
Because, you know, Matt Mercer is McCree, or not anymore. Matt Mercer is Cole now because his name is different. And, it's Hanoon. Of course you're going to be okay with him. So that's why they can do it. But for, the small streamers, you can't do that here. So, you don't get the facilities to do it.
I honestly did not know that, like, your time outside of Twitch was restricted in that way.
And that's why a lot of people go to Facebook Gaming, because in Facebook Gaming, you can restream as it happens. Like, there's no problems with it. You can just do a direct restream between Facebook and YouTube, or you can do the content within that 24-hour period. The only place that's not coming to ball with it is Twitch. Everyone else is working together to grow it. It's just Twitch that doesn't do it. So
surely they're shooting themselves in the foot. Like, any new streamers that are starting, the current streamers would be telling them, don't create your audience here. Create it somewhere else.
I have 16,000 followers on Facebook. I don't stream there yet. But if I do, I run the risk of losing everything on here. So because it's a direct competition and it's a streaming service predominantly, like, I run the risk of them just cracking the shits with me anyway. And I also run the risk of nobody coming across from here to there as well. It
blows my mind. You can't tap into your audience on multiple channels that you developed from your previous career. It
really does. Like, I spent 15 years as a professional wrestler, and I can literally do nothing with that because I can tell them to come to Twitch, but they're all stupid wrestlers. They don't know how to do nothing. Like, all their fans, all their fans, and wrestling fans, God bless them, I love them, but I was a heel for most of my wrestling career, so I was a bad guy. So I'm allowed to say that they all suck because they said it to me for a long time.
Do you need me to start booing you to start getting you feeling comfortable again?
Yeah. I mean, second.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say, it must have been a really interesting transition for you to go from performing in front of live audiences where you get that immediate feedback to Twitch where there's no audible feedback, but you might see a prompt come up on the screen, a few seconds after you do something. It's such a different environment.
I mean, thankfully for my streams, because they are quite busy and they're quite large by comparison, I suppose, it's always kind of rolling anyway. So if I do say something, people will boo me anyway. Like if I do, I'll make a bad joke or whatever, people will anyway. And I'm so used to being in front of an audience anyway, wrestling in front of thousands of people here in Perth or in Victoria or wherever it was, because I've wrestled all over the country. And I did it for a very long time. So I'm very, very used to it all. Then my neck got broken and I wasn't able to do it anymore. But it's like, it is a different environment, but I think that I wouldn't be as good a streamer without the interaction, without being able to get around the crowd and doing all that stuff. Like, I've had, chicken skewers stuck in my head, and I've had thumbtacks all through my back, and, I've gone through barbed wire walls and stuff like that. Like, I've done all of that rubbish. And at the end of the day, it's all taught me how to be better at this, because this is completely different. Like, this is a completely different beast, but it runs on the same rules of being engaging and entertaining and making sure that the crowd, responds correctly. If I'm playing a game on stream and the crowd is not getting around it, then I change. I do something different. I'll be like, oh no, guys, it broke. I can't do it no more. Like,
Oh, God, and I wonder as well, because my hubby had this because he was a professional MMA fighter,
yeah,
and everything else he does in life is just so low pressure in comparison. Like even really important things, like
yeah.
when we got married, he had this joke like, "Well, you're not going to punch me at the altar." So he was quite, quite calm about it.
Yeah.
When I was like, "Oh my God." So I wonder if that's another benefit as well. You've been dealing with these high pressure situations where your body is on the line and you're having thumbtacks pressed
Yeah.
into your back when you fall onto them.
Yeah.
Versus streaming where you're comfortable, you're sitting in a nice chair and you just get to talk to people.
Yeah. I mean, like for me, like it's been a bit of an adjustment, like
Yeah.
I'm not upset that I don't have to worry about taking thousands of thumbtacks out of my body then after a show, which they all hurt. In the fingers, it's horrible. In the elbow ditch, it's horrible.
Under the nail.
Oh,
Oh.
anywhere. Like you roll to the side and it goes into the ear piercing hole. Like that's happened as well. And I've stood up and it's been like as if my ear's been pierced, even though it was pierced already. There have been matches like I don't like hardcore. Hardcore's kind of garbage.
I hate hardcore.
But you do
If you're good at your job, you don't need thumbtacks.
Exactly right. And exactly right. So
Yeah.
I only ever did it as like a feud ender. Like if we'd been going back and forth for months and months and months and months, and I was too good a bad guy and they couldn't beat me or whatever the case may be. And then it's like as a final solution, now we're going to do this. Because
we need a trash can and a kendo stick to finish off the bad guy. Yeah.
It has to be worth it. No, it has to be worth it. And then at the end of the day, I broke my neck anyway. So I guess the good guys won in the end anyhow.
That's a tragic take. At the end of your career.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to leave on my own feet or anything, because I got hurt outside of a match, so I didn't even get to have like one final match, because like I was just walking to the shops and all of a sudden I couldn't feel my arms, and then I went to the doctor and he was like, "Hey, your neck's real broken." I'm like, "Oh, good."
At least you had an exciting career. I had a neck injury and it was just nothing. I did nothing.
Yeah.
Went to the doctor because I lost sensation in my hand.
Yeah.
Oh, your neck's injured. What did you do? Lift?
Nothing at all.
Nothing? Am I made of glass?
Yeah.
Is this a movie storyline that I don't know about?
But as it relates to streaming though, like it's
sorry, tangent.
No, that's okay. Like as it relates to streaming though, it's having an entertainment background always helps. Like it really, really does. And you see it because I've got a bunch of mates who stream who have never been in front of an audience before, and a lot of the time they don't even use their camera and things like that. Whereas for me, everything is stupid. Everything is memes. It's all dumb all the time. Like it wouldn't be my stream if there wasn't something dumb happening like every second of the stream, because that's just me. And it's worked well for what I do, and it's allowed me to capitalize in an area that really wasn't. A lot of people weren't really doing it. You know what I mean? Like sure, people play games and all that kind of stuff, and sure there are memes all the time, but the interaction is all part of the entertainment. So, but that being said, there are times where stress gets to you. Streaming is hard. Streaming is way harder than I ever expected it to be. Like
I think a lot of people just think, oh yeah, you're just sitting there and chatting and whatever else. And even if you take it at face value that maybe from your experience it isn't as high stress actually streaming, you've still got all that auxiliary stuff, your YouTube and your socials and your influencer stuff that you have to be working on, and your planning for the weeks and your collabs and everything else.
Like most people say three Twitter posts a day. And at least 2 Instagram posts is where you should be sitting for engagement.
Shit. I think I'm at 1 a week. All right, I gotta lift my game. All right.
Which is why I'll usually post like an advertising whatever stream I'm doing, and then I'll put a selfie up or another graphic or a video or something, just to keep that engagement going. But yeah, for me. Sorry, give me 2 seconds.
That's all right.
For me, it's I need to quickly address something here.
No, that's fine.
when it comes to shit, hang on, I've completely lost my train of thought. Yeah,
We
when
were
it comes to
talking about
advertising, like making sure that
yeah.
you have to be in the public eye at all times for it to grow. Like,
And the last thing you want to be is that person that is only putting up the go live message because people don't engage with that. Like we know even if it does draw some people to your stream, they're not engaging with that content and so it's not spreading. So you've got to do exactly what you're talking about with your YouTube. Like put out the viral, the engageable content so then they're around when you put up your gaming, your streaming,
yeah,
whatever else.
yeah, and like that's another thing too is that at this point, shorts should be coming out at least twice a week, at least. And I'm not doing that. But if you want
Mm.
YouTube to grow as well, your shorts need to be bouncing off as well. Because again, every time you put a short up, there's a chance for another person to follow. Every time you put a short up, you might have a new person who comes back. And that's where a lot of people fall down. You know, a lot of people fall down because honestly, I agree. I understand. I spend so much time on this stupid box with 3 screens. Like I spend so much time in front of this thing, whether it's building on the survival Minecraft world or whether it's engaging with sponsors and business partners or streaming or designing graphics or editing videos or all of this stuff. Like, you know, I practically never leave unless I'm going to the gym or I'm spending time with family. And that is where a lot of people fall down because a lot of people get to the point where they're like, oh, I'll just turn it on and I'll stream and that'll be it. And it doesn't work like that. And then they say, oh, how come I don't have viewers? It's like, well, because all the things I just said. Like, you don't have viewers because you're not doing this to the level you need to do it. And, you know, it's fine. Again, we always talk about how it's okay to just play here at Goa. And it's true. It is okay to just play. If your goal is to just stream and have a fun time and enjoy what you're doing, then that's amazing. That's perfect, you know. But if you are trying to grow, then you need to be doing the best you can to grow, and that's where all these different avenues to engage. They really make a difference. They absolutely make a huge difference, and you know it seems like a broken record thing because I'm sure I say that at least once, Streamaholics. But yeah, if you're not constantly looking at new ways to grow as well, like that also gets you. So on top of being the best you are right now with your content, you also have to be evolving every day. You know, so it becomes very stressful and it gets to me too. I had a breakdown the other day because shit was too hard. I legitimately wasn't even sure I was going to do this today. I had almost said, yeah, I had almost said, you know, maybe not. Maybe my headspace isn't here for it. But no, I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like I have to keep a schedule. I have to. My work ethic is too high to not do it. So
Well, I think it's another thing as well when you're talking about somebody like you who's this is your career, right?
yeah,
So you do take it seriously. You know, I completely agree with Goa with it's okay to play, but that's for people who are you know streaming as a hobby rather than somebody who's trying to make a career out of it.
yeah,
And you know, good on you for coming out, man,
yeah,
tonight because you had every excuse under the sun. You know, Lukey's not been around.
yeah,
You know, you had other people fall out on you.
yeah.
It could be really easy, I think, to get down and go, it's too hard.
Oh yeah,
because it's hard. It is
especially
hard.
when there's like 2 days a week I have off, and once I started to factor Goa into that, it's 1 day a week. I literally have Saturdays off now, and I'll go back to work Sunday. So it's 1 day a week that I don't do anything on content. And I still will be on here doing other shit. But yeah, it is 1 day a week where I don't actually provide a live stream. And I'm actually thinking about doing a Facebook stream because I want to see how it works. But I don't want to sacrifice potential earnings and potential keeping my family safe this month by going and doing one of my streams. Well, one of the last critical streams. So I have 3 days left before the pay cycle cuts off because the pay cycle's on the 15th, not the 1st. So a Twitch month is from the 15th to the 15th. So I have a couple more days in which case to kind of make sure that we're getting all the things we need to get. Thankfully, thanks to Bandai Namco, I'm actually playing Elden Ring this weekend.
Oh, exciting!
Yeah. So you know that should be good, and hopefully it will help.
Yeah.
And I might actually forego my usual Sunday on YouTube and do Sunday on Twitch for that explicit reason. Again, that's all comes down to juggling and making sure that I'm doing the right things at the right time. So I guess this week's schedule will be completely balked and everything will be in the different places. And but yeah, like I said, this all comes down to that mental state. This all comes down to doing the right things on the right days and how it affects you and moving forward and everything. So like, yeah, it is a very stressful job. It is the hardest job I've done. And I used to work for a very reputable university and made a lot of money. It's in $86,000 a year I was on before I got into caring and wrestling and injury and everything like that. So I was making good money for quite a long while, and nothing has been stressful as this. This is just a whole new world of stress every day. And I can't even imagine it for people who aren't in the situation where they're actually taking home money. I've got friends who they say, oh, maybe this month will be the month that I make enough to get the threshold. And that makes me feel so bad because it's like, I know it sounds like I'm complaining because I haven't got where we're at, but at the same time, it's like, no, this is my work. I need this much to feed everyone. You know what I mean? Like, so you can't feel bad about that either, you know?
No. And it's Twitch isn't an ecosystem where if you're doing well, I'm doing badly.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly
I
right.
don't think one person's taking away from another. So
well, that was the biggest complaint we had with the boob streamers was the fact that you know, it was like, oh, but if they're watching them in the hot tub, then they won't be watching me. I'm like, bro,
dude, if
they
they're
were
watching
never
them
coming
in the hot tub, they'll never watching you.
They were never coming to see you play COD. They were never coming to see you do some sick trick shots. Like, they weren't. They just weren't. Like,
I'm so glad somebody else has put that up to the universe.
yeah. Like, because that's what it is. Like, so many people complain. They're like, oh, but my views, it's not games. Oh, Twitch is for gaming. And it's like,
Nah.
Twitch is not for gaming.
Twitch is for entertainment.
Yeah, it really is. And they were never coming to watch you. Like they just weren't, because you know they didn't before. So you know, like what's
exactly. Yeah, did you see your numbers dip?
Yeah,
like
no, you did. You didn't. Like, and that's the end of that. You know. But yeah, no, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely like the thing. So for me, it is never easy to do this. This is a really, really tough job to do. But if you can do it well, it can be very rewarding as well. Like we had the earnings leaked recently, and looking at those figures, I didn't get upset. I got like focused. I'm like, okay, so you can make this kind of money here. Let's fix the difference between me and that person. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's what I really loved, because I saw so many comments around, oh, what about all the doctors and nurses that are, you know, saving people's lives? Shouldn't they be paid more? And I'm like, no. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a nurse. I would love to be paid millions of dollars a year, but I don't provide that level of value.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't work that way.
No.
Movie stars have always been paid that much. The Friends cast were getting paid $1 million an episode.
But just because one person getting money doesn't mean the other person gets less money. And that's what, yeah,
exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah.
They're not taking anything away from you. They're actually creating a path for you.
When I need to get a fleet enema, I will go to a nurse. And when I need to get... You know, when I need to get entertained, I probably won't go to a nurse unless the fleet enema is my entertainment. In which case, it's a whole different story.
And you're probably paying, you know, a reasonable amount for that.
Exactly right. So, that's just my perspective on the whole thing. Like, I think that it's stupid to compare people who are making money based on what they're doing. You know, entertainment, like, you know, like. And I didn't see it as like an insult to lower level streamers or anything like that either. I saw it as like, this is a place to aim for. This is the next step, you know, like, how do I get from here to there? Because right now I don't want to be here. I want to be there. But obviously something is different, intangibly different between my content and someone who's making $100,000 a month. So what's the difference? And
what I really liked with those reports was you could see it. It wasn't like, okay, this bunch of people earning $100 a month and then this bunch of people earning like 100,000. You could actually see the incremental growth between different streamers. And so you could actually see, okay, well, these people, like, they all collaborate together and they're all in a similar bracket, or
Yeah.
these people all stream this type of game, or, you could start to see those trends start pulling it out. So if money is your goal, you can start making those changes yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly right. And like, if it is what you're aiming to do, then you can actually set yourself goals. Like,
Mm,
because you sit there and you're like, but this person, and you complain and you complain and you complain. Complaining doesn't do anything. But if I
yeah,
sit here and I'm like, okay, so this person's what's their overlay like? All right, is their overlay better than mine? Yes or no? It's like a flow chart. Do they do something better than me? What is the thing, and how can I fix myself to be at the same level? Like,
yeah.
like
Imitation is the greatest form of flattery, and if you're
absolutely.
imitating somebody making more money than you, you're on the right path.
I mean, yeah, and invariably, hopefully, you do make at least comparable money. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
everyone always talks about my Markiplier impersonation. I would love to be Markiplier. The
mm.
amount of money and success that man has for getting scared in video games and Five Nights at Freddy's is incredible. Like, I've even got the hair already. I'm all halfway there right now.
Oh, yes. Yeah, yeah.
There you go. I'm
There
done.
you go.
It's all easy peasy.
All
Um,
right. So, after this, 5 nights, let's go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier. Like, it's very easy. But no, yeah, like you got to look for those people to. You got to look to those people. Like, that's what my inspiration lies in. Like, those people, those YouTubers, because
Mm,
I look at the best ones. I look at PewDiePie, I look at Jacksepticeye, and I get Markiplier. I look at their earnings and what kind of content they do, and then that's what I aim to provide. Even though it's not on YouTube, it's on Twitch. I feel that makes it even more personable because all of a sudden, it's like it's an intimate space, but we're still doing that fun stuff that you have to wait to see on a video. So
yeah.
yeah, there's a method to the madness, like all of it, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and what you're talking about is what a lot of people don't invest time into, which is research.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do you feel like with yourself when you thought you were going to do it, like what was the defining factor that stopped you from going further?
Um, I had this vision in my mind that I could quit my day job
Yeah,
and stream,
yeah,
and I've always been a person that's prioritized safety and security of income
yep,
over chasing my dreams.
yep,
And I got to a point with my career, so I ended up getting into some project roles and earning, decent money, and it's absolutely reliable and fantastic and safe. And working with the government, never have to worry about losing my job unless I do something drastically awful.
yep.
Um, so it was always going to be that way up of, do I take the risk or
Hmm.
do I stay with something safe?
Yeah,
The other part of that was always that I not a natural extrovert,
yeah,
and I do think that people who do way better on the platform.
yeah.
You see it naturally, like they have this bubbly energy for like 6 to 8 hours, and you're like, how? Whenever I was streaming, I was getting to that like 2 hour mark, and I'm like, I'm dying. I'm
Yeah.
dying. How do people do this? So while I still love doing stuff like this and I love supporting other people who have that vision and that drive and wanting to achieve what they want to achieve, for me it was uh clearly it's not coming together. Not working for me, and that's okay. I've got lots of other avenues. Gamma, who might still be in chat, calls me the Brock Lesnar of streaming because I stream about like once a month or once
Yeah.
every couple months now. And that's great because I can touch base with people that are in the streaming community. I'm always lurking in people's chats and stuff. I still feel like I'm involved and helping to people to grow, which
Yeah.
is good.
I mean, I think that's really cool. Like for me,
Yeah.
I appreciate the hell out of it. Like, seeing you come through when I'm doing the Goa streams and stuff like that. It's always really nice to see people come in, and it's really good that you can, even though the thing that you thought maybe you do is not the thing you're doing. It's really cool that you've taken that as a positive step rather than a negative step. Where so many people I know have started on the platform like going gangbusters, let's do it. I'm going to be the best streamer ever, and then when it doesn't work, they're like, you know what, the whole platform and everybody who's in the platform, you're all a bunch of and that's it. Like that is how they react to it, and then they're gone
Yeah.
forever. And it's refreshing to hear that yes, you still want to support the platform. Yes, you still want to support your friends. And you know, you have an investment in it growing for them. You know what I mean? Rather than getting mad about the fact that you didn't go further with it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, at the end of the day, that's on me. Like I could have grown the skill sets that I was failing in. I could have taken the risks if I wanted to,
Yeah.
but that was never going to happen. But why should anybody else be punished for that? Or why should I have negative feelings toward other people for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good
I,
attitude.
Yeah, that's not where I'm at as a human, so
Yeah.
I don't get it, but it's good. It's really, really good, and I think, you know, that we need more, like, not toxic positivity, but genuine positivity around people that, you know, are putting in the effort, are putting in the gains and making their way on the platform,
And
so
honestly, actual supporters as well is a big thing because, like, one thing that I found, especially because my community as a whole outside of Goa is very supportive. One
mm,
thing that I found is that as those communities grow, the offshoot communities, as someone who comes in with 5 viewers and leaves with 100 viewers, like 100 followers, sorry, like they invariably will leave at some point because all of a sudden, you know, they've gone from being a viewer to maybe creator to they're a creator as well, and they should have, you know, the different screens, their stream schedule that works for them, or, you know, they if I'm not in their streams all the time, then maybe they're not in mine, you know, because they're a creator as well. It raises them to the
mm,
same plinth.
yeah,
So it's really, really good just to have legitimate people who are there to watch what you do, rather than to watch for their shout out. You know,
yes,
like rather than to wait for their turn to get their moment, and then they say, "Oh, I'm here, but I'm not really here," and then that's the end of it. They just leave the stream. Like, so it's great
yeah,
to have people who are actually there just to watch. You know,
yeah,
it makes a huge, huge difference to streamers. You know, we love our lurkers. We don't get me wrong. We love our lurkers. We love people who are growing as well. We love everyone fighting the good fight, and you know, we love to support everyone. Everyone within my community will always follow if I tell them to. I will always support those people when I tell them to. Like, and we do all the time. But it is great to just have genuine, just the homies, just the people who are there, and they're like, I got to be there when Shippy starts, even when Shippy's not on his own channel. Flavor Fade. You know,
yeah. We love that kind of support. Like
yeah.
when you have collabs, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, and that's what you want. So, like, as much as it's awesome to watch that support, it's equally awesome to have people who know that they're not necessarily going to be doing this side of it, but they still want to be involved and want to support where they can too. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's very nice to when we get it because, you know, again, everyone has different priorities, and you always see it too because people will come in with a set of priorities, and then over time those priorities shift, and then the way that they approach streaming is different because they're not watching streaming from a viewership point of view anymore. They're from a creator point of view. So
Uh, yeah, I must admit one thing that really grinds my gears is, you know, the people that are just there because they want to grow their thing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you can tell the people that are genuinely there to support others and grow. And even as a creator, you know, when you're jumping into other streams, you can tell the people that are just there because I need to grow my community by
yeah.
visiting other people rather than I actually care about
Like
what's going on this
you can
platform
see
and
it.
other people.
You can so
Mm.
see. It's like the two dead giveaways for me are someone new comes into the chat, and these people, these specific people that we're talking about, will go, "Oh, hello, new person. I followed you," and it's like, yeah,
Thanks.
they know,
Thanks.
they can see it, but they say it so that they get followed back. Um,
Yeah.
and then you have other ones who are all like, "Oh, you know, I'm doing great. Like, I'm doing great. Just to let you know, I'm having a great stream at the moment, or I'm about to go live, or whatever it might be." And it's like, okay, cool.
Awful.
For me, I struggle because I'm in so many streams right now. I think I'm in about 5, and just got them muted in the background. But what I will do is I say, look, I have to go do something. I'm going to lurk because I'm not going to say, hey, I'm about to
Yeah.
go live. You know, I'm going to say, hey,
Yeah,
I've
yeah, yeah.
got to go do something. I'm not going to be able to listen, but I'm going to give you my view because I want you to do well.
My favorite people, they just say, "Oh, I'm just I need to do some work, but, you know, I've got you in the background."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's exactly how I approach it.
Yeah, they're not trying to take anybody away from your audience.
And then there's the ones that just come in, first time chatter. Hey, I'm live now. Or, hey, can I have a shout out? And it's like, no, you cannot. You can go and yourself. Like, yeah. And like, I have been getting a lot of trolls lately doing that kind of stuff or requesting songs because I have the ability to play whatever I want on my streams, and the chat can request whatever they want as well. So when that comes in, it's the worst. Like, they come in and they'll be like, straight away, troll face remix 10 hours, and that will be the song they request, and then they'll get banned. And I'm like,
mother truckers.
Good job, Captain Wit. Like, awesome. Really, really cool. Imagine not being allowed to be in the stream ever again because you're a total dumb. Like, and I'll just dress them down for about 3 minutes and then we're done.
Oh, well, you've got to get that rage bait going.
Oh, yeah, because sometimes it's just
a good clip for your short, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right, yeah. Gotta love that big man coming in, being a big man. Like, yeah. You gotta...
Sorry, that accent. Perfect.
Oh, beautiful. I do far too many voices and far too many impressions. I don't even know what my voice is anymore, honestly, with you. It's just constantly that. So
it's just rolling accents.
Well, yeah, because I do all the Vegeta stuff usually over on my channel because I'm a big Dragon Ball guy. So
I need to come by your channel more, man. It sounds like a blast.
I have a button for it where I can talk. I wonder if it will work on this stream. It doesn't change my voice or anything. It just does like a... We'll do this. We'll go like... Hello there, Natty. Like,
oh my god,
the Prince of all Saiyans, Vegeta. But yeah, like we're like, it's just that. So that's actually a redemption on my stream that allows you to say whatever. Vegeta speaks, it's called, and you can pretty much get me to say anything. So there's a bunch of times where it's all like, I just wanted to say, I love you, Kakarot, and stuff like that. Like, like dumb shit that Vegeta would never. I said I would never say then. Dumb shit that Vegeta would never say. But yeah, absolutely. We're on top of the trolls. We're on top of the toxicity there, and in a perfect world, we just have fun.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So how much fun? Because obviously channel redemption is a thing that Twitch introduced to, encourage engagement in the stream so people wouldn't have 60 lurking going on so they have to come back and click that little button to get points. Obviously you've picked a really good tact there of using it to create engagement actively.
Yeah. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it's not great. I don't know. We probably don't have enough people to do what happens to me usually. But as an example, for me, if I go to my stream, when I start stream, this will commonplace happen. I think the code for it is... Just see if I can remember.
Yeah.
I think it's this.
Yeah, Ariane's just said your streams are always a positive vibe.
Okay, so this. I will start stream and this will happen. Where is it? Wait, that's wrong. I had to copy the wrong thing. This will happen. Because people will just do that over and over again. Or they'll do this. And they'll just keep redeeming like somebody touching my spaghetti or the dance and that's broken part of my overlay. But like that is what happens. That is what happens when I stream. Like, there we go. It's gone. It's better now. But yeah, like I will constantly go through that. Like that will happen. They will troll the hell out of me. But it creates engagement. like sitting there and I'm just talking or whatever and. Like one of the best ones that they do is the JoJo meme, like this, where I'll be like, like.
Oh, that is so cool.
It comes up with like the to be continued at the bottom of the screen and everything like that. But like they'll do that, or I'll be talking and they'll be trolling me and I'll get sad and then I'll drop like a. Like the why are we still here just to suffer? Like, so yeah, they create a real sense of engagement because there are so many different things that the chat can do. Like and they can hijack the stream at times. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like Like, like making them part of this situation and giving them a little bit of control is great because it gives them a reason to come back. Like every time Shotgun Steve, for example, comes into my stream, he'll do the Among Us stab, which is custom made with like a Warship guy and everything like that.
That was adorable.
Yeah, like he'll do that, or everyone has like a thing pretty much when they come into my streams. Yeah, God damn it, what'd you do? God damn it. Okay. Goa, God damn it. Goa is off the hook. There you go. I wasn't even on my channel and you still got to me to do a Vegeta redemption. Fantastic. But yeah, I usually turn all these off actually when I'm streaming because like on here, because otherwise they can go to my channel and cause chaos.
Yes.
But yeah, like from an engagement point of view, there's nothing better than having some fun stuff for them to do. Like,
yeah, and I guess it probably re-energizes you a little bit as well if you're kind of flagging a little bit.
Oh yeah,
come back into it again.
And God bless them too, because when the people who are like the real people, like the real watchers, when they see it, they'll do something. Like if they see that you're down or whatever, they'll be like, all right, cool, let's do this thing that he hates. Like like I have a redemption that every single time it happens, and I will trigger it so that they don't, because I know Shotgun's probably rushing there to do it now. Every time it happens, I ignore the chat, like completely. Like it's called low energy streamer. I usually have sunglasses on, but it does this. Yes. Just like, oh yeah, person in my headset. Oh, yeah, no, I don't care about the chat. No, they're rubbish. No, watch how good I am at shooting. I'm so good at shooting games. Hey, shooting games mean I have a personality. That's all I need. I don't need to do anything. No, it's okay. I've got a nappy on. I don't need to worry about going to the toilet. That's fine. And like that will be the entirety of that 30 seconds. It will just be me.
That is so good.
Talking shit about every single COD streamer in the world. Like that's all it is.
Oh, look, it's fertile soil, man.
But yeah, honestly, like that stuff to me is very, very, very important because it brings my community together, and that ties back into literally everything we've talked about branding and about creating a niche for yourself. Something that no one else is doing, and I think at the end of the day, that's really kind of what we've spoke about all night, whether it's been creating a niche on a different platform, whether it's been making sure that you're playing the content that you can survive off of long term. No matter what it is, I think that it all kind of falls into that same category. So
yeah, completely agree.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a pretty nice spot to wrap
it
up.
Yeah, I do as well. So I know this is a question I usually ask, but it's I don't know how we'll frame it with you because of what you're currently doing versus not doing, but where can the chat find you and what do you do on the internet?
God. I do many things. They can find me at Natty WW. I keep it simple. I am Natty WW everywhere, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, if you want to come and connect with me on LinkedIn.
Yep.
What do I do? So I own a mixed martial arts gym. So if you want to see me post about that, I also am an advocate for digital health. So I'm on the South Australia Digital Health Board. So I talk about your health data and exciting things you can do with that on on Twitter. And I also write for Game On Aus, which is the main place you'll find me. So if you want to read some stuff I've written about esports, head over to gameonaus.com.au. That is the wrap up, I think, good sir.
I need your brains because my brains are dumb. But isn't there some kind of benefit for people who are members?
Oh my goodness. Would you believe that Goa members are amazing? Not only did I get all of my love and attention and amazingness.
It's a good distraction that you're doing right now.
They get 20% off our merch store, which is unfortunately down at the moment, but that will be up soon again. We do have an exclusive member chat in Discord, so everybody's welcome to come in there. And the cool thing about the members, Arian's trying to get the prompt to work, but I think it's dead because we're streaming from you.
Arian, I don't think you should be talking about the members.
Members. Ooh. I'm imagining an octopus. Anyway.
Yes.
So that's the biggest benefit for me. There's also a newsletter that comes out every now and again, and a few other perks. Members, also part of their membership goes to our 6th monthly charity. So at the moment, all those extra few dollars are going to charity, so you feel like you're doing a good thing.
And isn't that really, at the end of the day, like that's a big part of what we do, is trying to provide that good feeling, doing a good thing. And well,
man, I need to work on my elevator pitch. I'll get there.
I'll give you one of these. All right, we'll just let's do that. No, I can't do that. That
oh no.
But yeah, well, as for me, you can find me on all the social media as the Warship, except for stupid dumb Twitter, who won't give me my username. There you can find me at _Warship, or here. It is very, very simple to do. I do create content for Goa as well when we do Streamaholics here, and my occasional day stream as well. But you can find me predominantly on Twitch and on YouTube at The Warship. So that is youtube.com/The Warship or twitch.tv/The Warship as well. I am there pretty much every day on one of those platforms doing this kind of thing, except sometimes more drunk, sometimes less drunk. I don't quite know. But yeah, that's essentially where you can find me. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Did you enjoy yourself?
Oh, this was amazing. I love chatting with you. I would love to do it again sometime. Maybe when we've got a bit more notice, so I can come up with a content plan. Give our wonderful fans some extra value for their time.
Yeah, all right. Well, then, I guess it's a good spot to leave it off there. So, for you, Natty WW, and for me, The Warship, this has been Streamaholics. You're a Streamaholic, I'm a Streamaholic, and now each and every one of you, you're Streamaholics too. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao.
Wow, I hope you enjoyed that show. And if you want to make sure that you stay up to date with everything that Game On Aus has to offer here on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button. That's the best way